Well, a little earlier, I spoke to Mr. Bloom from his home on Humberside, and I asked him if he had apologised to his party leadership for his remarks.
Not really, because I didn't feel that I'd done anything wrong. I mean, I'm 63 years old. That's the sort of phraseology we used years ago. No unpleasantness in it at all.
So it's just a product of being old?
They don't want me to use it. I think it probably is, yes. I won't use it again because I don't want to upset my party boss and my party chairman, so I shan't use it again.
Because Nigel Farage clearly thinks Bongo Bongo land is a racist phrase, doesn't he?
I think he does, and again, it's a generation thing. You know, I'm an older man and I don't see it that way. But if he tells me so, it must be so.
And so you still don't understand why it is?
No.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty big bone of contention. I mean, the thing about Bongo Bongo land is it refers to sub-Saharan Africa, doesn't it?
If you say it does.
Why did the phrase come to mind?
I was describing despots, corrupt despots across the globe who have no audit facilities at all, who either spend the money that we give them on arms or they misdirect it. That's the point I was making.
And that's all summed up by Bongo Bongo, is it?
Yes, if you will, if you will.
Because Bongo Bongo to most people suggests bongo drums. And the sound of drums is a thing that's sort of associated historically with talk of natives and Africa, and that's really the origin of the phrase, isn't it?
Well, and also, of course, it is a name there. Of course, President Bongo of Gabon is the current president of Gabon, and his name is Bongo, so there's lots of connotations. You're absolutely right.
So you did really mean Africans?
I can't remember really what I meant. Maybe I did. Certainly, I talked about Pakistan buying jets, which I thought was unreasonable.
If anybody was offended by it, what's your message to them?
If you were genuinely offended by it, and so far I haven't had a single person who is genuinely offended, I've had a lot of fake huff and puffing, but if you were genuinely upset or offended by it, I'm very sorry.
Because Roshanara Ali, the Labour MP, is definitely offended by it. Are you sorry to her?
Why would she? I don't even know the woman. How could she be offended by it?
Well, she's offended by your use of the phrase, as a lot of people are on social media.
She's a political opponent. She's a political opponent.
So she's not entitled to be offended?
Come on, we all know the political game. No, it's a game, come on, it's a game.
I thought politics was more serious than that, Mr. Bloom.
No,
if it's a game to you, then that's interesting, I'm sure.
£1 billion a month and we don't know where it goes, that's pretty important. That's very important, and that's what we should all be talking about, and I'm glad to say now we are. We are now talking. I've started a national debate.
I don't think you have. You started a debate about the use of the word bongo bongo and whether it's racist or not.
Well, I've had hundreds and hundreds and thousands of emails and texts supporting my point of view.
Hundreds of thousands?
I've started a national debate. I've had hundreds and thousands of texts in support. What is your problem with all this?
This is not personal. This is not personal. It's not my problem. I mean, you started a controversy, so I'm asking you about it.
What's controversial about it?
Well, your own leader thinks it's racist. If your own leader thinks the phrase is racist, that's what's controversial about it. Your party had an Italian MEP expelled from your parliamentary group for the use of this phrase, which Nigel Farage said was racist. That's what's controversial about it, and you don't see the problem. You don't see why it's racist. That's why this has kicked off a debate.
He said a pejorative. That was a pejorative term used by him against an individual. Mine was no such thing. No individual.
Yours was used against a consonant.
Well, in your mind, perhaps, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, the trouble is if you won't elucidate what was in your mind, because you claim you can't remember, it's a bit difficult.
I can tell you what was in my mind, but you won't let me speak, and it's £1 billion a month going where we don't know where it goes.
No, I'm not interested in the aid stuff. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in why you used the phrase.
I'm saying you should be. Move on. Move on. There's a good fellow.
I'm not going to move on.
The real problem.
I'm not going to move on until we've got to the bottom of why you use this phrase.
Oh, well, if you're not going to move on, I don't think there's much point in continuing it, is there? If you're not going to talk about serious issues...
Are you giving up?
There's no point in continuing it.
Are you giving up, Mr. Bloom?
I can't be bothered with it.
Godfrey Bloom.